All right. Everyone should be in. Wonderful. Okay, well, we'll go ahead and get started. And let me make sure I'm recording. I am. Another one person came in. Okay. Well, welcome everyone. Good evening. And thank you for joining us for the academic showcase featuring accounting and business. So, what's really great about these programs is that you're hearing from the experts and really learning what to prepare for and what to be thinking about. So, with that, we'll go ahead and get started and have everyone introduce themselves.
Hi, I'm Amber Fox. I am the co-program coordinator for the accounting department. I have been with IVCC for just about 3 years now.
Hello, I'm Rick Serafini. I'm the other program coordinator for the accounting program, and I've been with IVCC for, well, about 20 years if you count the part-time years.
Hi, my name is Bob Reese. I'm the program coordinator for the Business Administration and Marketing program, and I have been at IVCC now for 25 years.
Hi, my name is Renee Prine. I'm one of the counselors at IVCC, and I'm in the same boat as Bob. I'm on my 25th year.
Oh, that's fantastic. And I'm Ezra Loveland. I serve as the Assistant Director for Admissions, Records, and Transfer Services. And I'm moving into my 6th year, so that's exciting. So moving ahead, we're going to start off with accounting. We'll move into the business marketing program, and then we'll have Renee speak a little bit of what you should be thinking about when it comes to meeting with a counselor and things to think about, even with our partnership with Franklin University. And then we'll open it up to questions. So we'll have accounting start us off.
Okay, so real quick, I'll kind of cover this slide, and then I'm going to share with you the basic and advanced certificate and then the associate degree in accounting. So a couple program highlights that we're pretty proud of at IV is that as a part of our associate in accounting, you can come away with the certification in bookkeeping. Rick, do you want to talk about this a little bit? You were the one that got the program started.
Yeah, the certified bookkeeping course was something kind of interesting that I stumbled upon probably about 5 years ago. And it kind of opened the door for several of our students who graduated with that certification. And it's really just another way that you can walk away from our program with things in addition to, your degree or certificate. And we've gotten students who've gotten a bookkeeping job, and that's led to a general ledger job and on to other things, a payroll accountant and so forth. So it's worked out quite well. And it's offered through the Associate of Professional Bookkeeping, I believe is the name of the organization.
Yeah, and that class is typically offered in the spring, and I am the one that would be teaching that class. It's a fun class to teach. I enjoy it. I think the students like it because it's more of a review of what you've been doing over your 2 years at IVCC. And then we also like to tout the fact that there's a chance as part of that bookkeeping course that you'll take in the spring during your first year, you could take a certification and become certified in QuickBooks. And then also in the spring of your freshman year, you'll take a payroll course. And there's an opportunity there to become payroll certified. So if you chose to, within your first 2 years, graduating with your associate, you could have 3 different certifications that you could use as a tool to help market yourself and get really good opportunities as far as employment that way. Another one of our programs that we like to highlight is our 3+1 agreement with Franklin University. Students can come to IVCC and do 3 years at IV, and then that 4th year they do online with Franklin, and then they come away with a bachelor's degree. And it's not just accounting. There's like 40 different programs, and I believe Renee is going to talk about this later in the presentation, but there's a lot of different programs that this 3+1 covers. So I want to share with you real quick the basic and advanced certificates. So here's the certificate programs. A student that would typically come in and might not know, maybe they're thinking right away, we just want to come in and get a little bit of accounting so that we can go out and maybe do some bookkeeping. They might start here with our basic certificate and do a couple of semesters worth of courses. And then they would be able to probably gain employment as a bookkeeper. Maybe they get into this and they really, really like it. And they think, maybe we want to go a little bit further with it. So then we get into the advanced certificate. And the way these are designed is if you start one, you can immediately go to the next. And then if you decide you get through the advanced, you're thinking, maybe I want to get my associate. Maybe I want to have a little bit more opportunity. From here, you would just flow directly into the associate degree. So they're what we would call stackable. In fact, if you are in the associate program, you would earn those certificates as you complete the associate program. So for the associate in accounting, it's 2 years, it's 60 credit hours. You would start your fall semester with a basic accounting course, fundamentals, and some introduction to business, and some math for business and finance. And then as you can see, as you get into your spring semester, we start going into financial, payroll, QuickBooks. We've got some econ, some writing courses. And then as you get into the second year, you're looking at a little bit higher level accounting courses, managerial, tax, intermediate 2, and the bookkeeper review and some finance courses. Anything to add to this, Rick?
No, I think you did a great job, and I like the fact that you brought up the stackable certificates. That really works good for the students. They can move from one level to the next. Just like you said, if they're interested, they can keep moving through the program.
Okay. Also, I want to share with you, our IVCC Foundation does a phenomenal job with trying to get students money for college. And I believe, somebody correct me if I'm wrong, is the due dates for most of the scholarships February? Azarette says yes, Renee says yes. Okay. Here are the scholarships that are available in the accounting, business, economics, marketing world. So as you can see, we've got several. And I believe in the recent years, just about everybody that has applied through the foundation for a scholarship has been awarded some amount of money. So if you're looking for additional funds to help you, talk to the foundation. We've got money out there. We have scholarships available. So we like to really promote that 3+1 with Franklin because it's so affordable. But we do have a scholarship, the William and Diane Taylor Scholarship, right here. Rick, do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Well, William and Diane Taylor are huge contributors to NIU. And if you ever go to the School of Business at Northern, you'll see a nice plaque there with all the funds that they've donated and generated for the university. And this is sort of the accounting's sort of our capstone, our really top scholarship that we can afford, that we can offer you. People who've won the William and Diane Taylor Scholarship actually have gotten a full 2-year ride to NIU's accounting program, which, that price tag is pretty high. And I will tell you, to tout our own program, the head of the accounting department at NIU speaks very highly of our transfer students. So we feel that, this is a great opportunity if you want to go that route. So.
Yeah. The other thing that I want to mention too, Bob is going to talk about the business world and his side of things. I put this little Venn diagram together. Is everybody seeing that okay? No, not at all. Okay, change my share. How about now? Okay. I'll make this a little bit bigger for you. But I put this together. You know, if you're somebody that's already maybe in the marketing or in the business admin program, I just wanted to point out that if you chose to get the accounting, you're giving yourself a much bigger window to go through when you're looking for employment. The accounting is going to be something that you're going to need to know anyway. You're going to have at least a little bit of background in it, especially if you're looking into management. But if you're doing the business admin or the marketing, you can see where we've got all of these classes that overlap between our associate degrees. If you just take a few more accounting courses, you could come away with 1, 2, or even 3 of these associate degrees within that 2-year time period. So I just wanted to point that out too, if you're looking at where you want to go or where you want to end up career-wise. Anything else to add? Rick, do you want to talk about where our students have ended up and maybe the amount of money that they started off making?
Sure. There's, I think, a slide, Azarette, that you have there.
Oh, I forgot about the next
first
slide.
There's some job opportunities, and since I've been at IVCC, I've worked a lot with the internship program, and we've placed a lot of students in various jobs in the area, which is really neat because, you know, that's really what we want you to do. We want you to be successful and have an opportunity to get a job and make money in this field. And I will say that we've placed a lot of students in tax accounting jobs. Every tax season, I'd say there's probably at least 3 firms that contact me that are always interested in hiring our tax accounting students. And that's why we kind of structured the program so that we offer tax accounting in the fall, so that when you have that experience with the course, then you can actually work during the tax season for one of the CPA firms or maybe even H&R Block or something like that. So anyway, we've placed quite a few students, and oddly enough, I just heard back from one of our former students, I think it was about a month and a half ago, and she got her enrolled agent certificate, which is a pretty tough certificate to obtain, and that's opening some doors for her. So that shows you, and she got her foot in the door just by going through our internship program. We've also placed, since we've started the payroll course, we've placed a few students in payroll jobs, which are very, very common. It's a great entry-level job. I don't mean that to say that it's not a high-level job within an organization. What I mean by this is that it's a very easy way to get your foot in the door in an organization, because everybody has payroll, and that payroll certification has opened the door for several of our graduates also. We've got a few in banking. As a matter of fact, the enrolled agent is working. She's worked her way up in a banking position, and now she's kind of facing a decision whether she stays in banking or goes on to and pursues tax. So we've had very good luck, and it's nice to see our students be successful once they graduate IVCC. As far as the money goes, I can't really say for sure, because it just depends on the size of the organization that you happen to land a job. You tend to make more money if you go in industry, but it just depends. We placed a few people in industry, and they're doing very well. I think of Andy Jolly, who's over at May's Nails, and I run into him quite often, and he's got a great job now with May's Nails, and I know he said he's doing very well. So I can't tell you exactly how much he's making, but I think he's doing pretty good. So for what it's worth, there you go. A lot of opportunity for you.
Any questions that we can answer?
Feel free to type them in the chat box if anything pops up, but we'll also have some time after the presentation. And I don't know if Amber or Rick want to mention just like how the accounting program, IVCC's accounting program really stands out. I know you guys kind of touched a little bit on this, but anything else that you want to add?
I think the important thing is that you get one-on-one attention from us. Our doors are always open. Come in and see us. Right now it's Zoom, but come see us, shoot us an email. We're usually pretty quick to respond. So I think that helps a lot. You get much more attention from a smaller community college than you would from a large campus. So please take advantage of our knowledge, get a hold of us, ask questions. We've got classes that meet face-to-face, hopefully in the fall when we go back. Right now we're doing Zoom, but we also do strictly online. And if you've got a course that's being offered and maybe you really need an online option and it's not being offered online, get a hold of one of us because we can set up that course to meet your needs. Just because it's not online doesn't mean you can't take that class. We mentioned the scholarships. It's close to home. Going the Franklin option, you can start working almost immediately while you're finishing that degree. It gives you some flexibility. Affordability, I think, is a big one right now. Students are really struggling with student loan debt. I know I am one. I will not have my loans paid off until I'm in my early 50s. Hey, why not go to college where you can afford to go to school, especially right now if you've got that, you were laid off maybe because of COVID. Check out the BEST program. They're working with students to get them through school with the unemployment benefits. So make sure you check that out. The IVCC has got some amazing student services, whether it's disability services who can help you with any accommodations you might need. We've got, I'm thinking TRIO, it's not TRIO, it's
Project Success.
Project Success, thank you. They are phenomenal with helping students with resources. We've got the Writing Center. We've got peer tutors that are working on campus as well as on Zoom right now. There's clubs and organizations to get involved in. So you can really take this experience and make it what you want. It's a great place to be.
And the only thing I'll add to that is I know when I did a review of all the 40 some, I think there's 43 community colleges or 48 in Illinois. I examined every one of them for the offerings in accounting. And I can tell you that nobody offers the amount of certificates and professional certifications that we offer in our program. So I think you'd be hard pressed to find another community college that's going to give you this well-rounded of an accounting curriculum. So,
Azarette, I have some questions coming through to me from the chat. Do you want to address them now?
Same one.
I have some questions coming through to me in the chat. Do we have a moment where we can address those questions? Yeah?
Yes.
Okay. I have one. It's a current student of ours. He's asking about job placement possibilities for someone that is considered to be older. Yes, I think we do have job placement opportunities. At least once a week, we're getting emails from our career services with positions that are open locally. So there is jobs there to be applied for and gained. So that there is jobs in the area currently. Are there employers in the accounting field that offer on-site daycare services? I don't know the answer to this one. Do any of you?
I don't know of any that have on-site daycare, not in our area that I know of. I do want to add something there, Amber, about the career services. I would highly encourage you guys to contact Lisa Watalka at Career Services, and maybe Renee's doing good at chatting in there, can put her email, Lisa_Watalka at ivcc.edu. If you sign up with our CareerNet through Career Services, you can look up any internships, jobs, from home from your computer. We get our individual ones, like I get all the business administration and marketing, Amber and Rick get the accounting ones. But if you go out there, you can look at all of them anytime you want. And Chris, that's a great resource. I've had multiple students get internships or jobs through our career services. So use them.
And I'm going to add that she can help with resume writing and interviewing skills. So there's another one here asking, does Franklin accept FAFSA or Pell Grants? Yes, I believe they do. They do take all forms of financial aid. You would fill out a FAFSA with them like you would for us. I think that's all the questions that I had.
Okay, I
Thank
guess it's my
you.
turn. Okay, guys, I'm going to talk about the business administration and marketing program at IVCC. Accounting, business, and marketing really blend together, and we work really well together because a lot of our classes overlap. So a lot of the things that just Amber and Rick talked about, all the things that were additional besides the specific accounting classes, I'm not going to repeat because it's pretty much exactly the same, the scholarships and career services and all that type of stuff. So I'm going to concentrate on the business side. My program has actually a couple different degrees. You can do a transfer degree, which is an AS or an AA in business administration. Matter of fact, today I was up in our human resource department talking to our HR manager, and I looked in the side little office room and there was a past student. And I'm like, what the heck are you doing? He's doing an internship in our HR department. Now he's at ISU and he's doing it through ISU. But when he was in my class at IV in my intro to business class, our HR manager asked me if I had any students that would be interested in doing an internship. And I told the class, and at the time that he didn't do it, but now he's back, he's graduating from ISU, but doing the internship. So we have a lot of opportunities for internships as well. You can also earn your AAS in business administration or marketing. And if you're going full time, it's right about 2 years. The classes, most of them are face to face, but almost pretty much the majority of them now have an online component or a hybrid component of some kind or night class. So if you're working full time, you should still be able to complete these programs, as well as the gen eds. A lot of the gen eds that are required or electives are online as well. So that's the 2-year program. Some of the classes that you would take in business administration, accounting, you cover, some intro to business and some basic business classes, and then they concentrate on accounting. Business administration hits all aspects of business. You take intro to business, you take principles of marketing, you take principles of management, you take supervision, you take finance, you take economics, you take financial and managerial accounting, you take speech, you take Microsoft Office 1 and 2. I'm sure I'm forgetting some, and then there's some electives in there. That's just off the top of my head. But what you see there is you learn a little bit about everything in the business environment. And so when you go to a job, not only do you know the business administration side, you have some accounting background, you have marketing, you have management, you have supervision. And so it's a really wide degree that you can get a lot of different jobs in. So speaking of jobs, some job opportunities where my students go to work. Banking is a big one. Human resources, office manager, admin assistants, bookkeepers, customer service reps. That's a lot of them. I've had interns at City of Peru interning underneath the finance officer, and then they ended up getting a job at FISIC Electric as their as accounting, actually. And had City of Peru also an intern human resource manager there. Multiple banks I've had interns go to. The median salary, according to ZipRecruiter in our area, so I did specific to the Illinois Valley area, is about $44,830. The national average is about 52,000. And so, depending on where you're at, obviously, if you go to a bigger city, the median salary is going to increase and go, be a little higher. As far as transferring to other colleges go, every year I go to NIU on a Friday, and all of the community colleges in the state of Illinois, the business professors meet with all the NIU business professors. And every single time I go there, they always say IVCC business students, accounting students have a better GPA when they graduate than most of the native students at NIU. The native students are ones who were there 4 years. Now, I'm putting myself down there because I went to NIU for 4 years and got my finance degree, but Ivy students do amazing when they transfer to 4-year schools. So don't think coming to IVCC you're missing out on certain classes or whatever. You will be well prepared. Matter of fact, a couple years ago when I was there, I saw one of my past students, and she was in, I think it was their marketing class, and she goes, Bob, the first 2 months of class was everything that you taught in the principles of marketing class at IV, and everyone was struggling, and it was just review for me. And then the last 2 months were new. So I kind of model most of my classes after the classes from Northern, as well as I went to Bradley. And so I model my classes. They're no different than if you're going to a 4-year school. Some other possibilities of transferring: Eureka offers a full ride their last 2 years for IVCC business graduates. I had one student who I wrote a reference for who he got offered a full ride to Eureka his last 2 years. So there's a lot of options beyond IVCC. Franklin University has the 3+1 as well with a business administration degree. I used to be the Franklin University rep at IV for, I don't know, 5 or 6 years. And so I'm very, very familiar with that program, and a lot of students really like it, especially because if you take some of our classes in the AAS degrees are what are considered non-transfer classes, where they won't necessarily transfer to a 4-year school. Franklin University accepts them. So that's really, really nice. Some students get their AAS, which is geared for 2-year degree, and go work. And then they're like, you know what? I think I want to go on. Franklin will accept all of those classes, so they're not wasting classes. Plus, you're paying IVCC's tuition for 3 years, and then you only pay a 4-year university tuition for 1 year, and it's all online. So that Franklin program is a really nice one. So like I said, Amber and Rick did an amazing job covering all the other stuff that would be the same for my program. So I'm not going to repeat that, but I'll open it up to anyone if you have any specific questions for me with the business degree and or marketing degree. And I will emphasize before I open it up to questions, something that Amber mentioned as well is you just take a couple additional classes from the business administration degree and you get your marketing degree. And same thing with you get your business degree, take a few extra classes in accounting, and now you have 2, maybe even 3 degrees. And what you guys really want to do if you're wanting to get a job or maybe get promoted or get a better job, what sets you apart from everyone else applying for that job? And I guarantee you, if it's a requirement to have an associate's degree, everyone's going to have it. You're nothing special by having one associate's degree. I don't mean that mean. It's just everyone's going to have it. But if you have an accounting associate's degree and a business administration degree and maybe even a marketing degree, that's just something additional that will be on your resume and what sets you apart from the other people. So with that, I will answer any questions that anyone has.
I'm not seeing any coming through, but there might be some that pop through once we transition to Renee. So we'll keep that open.
And keep putting those, put the questions in the chat, because it may apply to, Amber or Rick or Bob or myself, or, throw them all in the chat. We can figure them out together. So don't hesitate. So that marketing course that Bob was talking about now articulates actually the one he teaches as a direct equivalent to NIU. It's now their marketing 295. So they saw the value in Bob's class and in that marketing course and have given us a course to course equivalency for what's typically not considered a transfer course. So the universities are opening up more and more to taking in what's typically a non-transfer or vocational technical course and accepting more and more of those as transfer courses. So again, my name's Renee Prine. I'm one of the counselors here at IVCC. And the great thing about these programs, what you've heard tonight, in the first year, you start out, whether you want accounting, marketing, business, you start out in that first year taking the exact prescriptive courses, depending on whether you want to branch off to any of those 3 areas. So you can't go wrong in your first semester, right? So it's exactly the same semester in all three programs. So you can decide from there, really which route you want to go, or do you want to go all the routes, like we were talking about, and have that overlap, because it is only a few courses difference, between, the marketing, the accounting, and the business. Another great thing about these programs is typically when I talk about associate and applied science degrees, I have a thing that I say 25% of their program is typically transferable. So if you decide later in life you have to go get a bachelor's degree, or you want to get a bachelor's degree, 25% of that degree would be transferable, but 75% was really hands-on learning and applied learning. Well, with these programs, I would say it's over 50% of the coursework in these programs is transferable to your typical state university. They've really worked hard at making sure that these courses, whether it's business and economics, and we have some substitutions that we can do for some math courses and things like that, would be carry over into a bachelor's degree. But if you decide not to ever pursue the bachelor's degree, it's just as valuable to have that applied science degree or certificate as well. So you get a little bit more bang for your buck at that point there when you're taking those classes. One big advantage, if you are going to start at IVCC, and Amber mentioned it, it's smaller class sizes. And, I know if you were going to go get a bachelor's degree, you go there and everybody's got to take those lower level gen eds, English and math. And you've got usually about 10 business core courses, micro, macroeconomics, a psychology, financial and managerial accounting, a legal environment of business, an intro to business, calc for business. And you may find that there's up to 100 students in some of those intro level classes. Well, if you start at IV, the max enrollment in any one of our classes is 35. Online is even smaller. And then when you transition, if you decide to transfer to that university, you'll find that you're transitioning into about the same class sizes as you would be if you were at IV, because you've actually gotten into your major. And that's our goal, is to make sure that you get into your major. Again, if you decide to transfer. So if you call the counseling center or send us an email, we're going to get really intrusive with you. And I say this, it's nothing personal, but what it is that we're trying to figure out, should you be a full-time or a part-time student? I know we said the degree can be done in 2 years, and we say that as a full-time student. But, many people have a lot going on in life. You may be a caregiver for someone in your family. You may be someone's spouse. You may be a parent. You may have a full-time job. You may do all of those things. So we're going to help you try to find balance so you're successful in school. Can you do these programs on a part-time basis? Absolutely. Will it take you longer than 2 years? Absolutely. But it's okay. Believe it or not, I have students that start it and they're like, I can't believe I'm nearing the end, and they may have been here 3.5, 4 years. And they said it's gone by so fast. We'll keep you rolling. We'll keep you into the courses. But we just want to make sure that you're successful and that you're a successful student here. And that means, again, finding that balance, not taking on too much, or, are you working 20 hours a week? You've just graduated high school and you might try this out. Absolutely. Come to school full time.
Renee, can I add something to that?
Yeah.
Work with our counselors, you guys. They are the best. You don't know how many students at the end of their program either didn't take a class, or certain classes are only offered certain semesters. And I'm like, well, who was your counselor? I didn't work with one. There you go. Obviously it's free. There's no reason not to. And they will guide you through everything. Even if you're transferring, they are so helpful with where you're going to transfer. My son took classes at IV and then transferred to U of I. And I was asking our counselors, specifically Renee and Jim, about U of I classes, and they knew probably more about the U of I classes than some of the U of I people I talked to. So use them.
Thanks, Bob. So, Yeah, I mean, and we work closely with all of these universities. I'm actually assigned to NIU and Western Illinois University. Jim has got Southern Illinois University and U of I. Missy has got Eastern Illinois University and ISU. So we all work with these universities to make sure that our students transfer successfully, that you're not taking credits that you don't need. And then we all work with, you know, basically everybody works with every university. And I don't know how many times I yell out my door, hey, Missy, does this transfer to here? And she's like, yes, you know, so we all work, you know, really well together as far as that goes to make sure that you guys are successful. Let's hit the next slide because I want to touch a little bit about Franklin because it's such a unique program. Bob, Amber, Rick, they all tapped on it just a little bit. You can do 3 years here at community college prices and do the last 30 credit hours at Franklin entirely online and obtain your bachelor's degree. So they're allowing you not only to transfer what would typically be non-transfer coursework, like those upper division accounting courses or upper level management courses. They're allowing those courses in transfer. You still have to do the gen ed stuff. And what do I mean by that? That's like the English 1, English 2 speech. That means the sciences, the social sciences, the humanities, and the fine arts. But we can weave that in. You can do them before, you could do it after. If you've already got it done, you know, we'll let you know kind of what you're looking at as far as that goes. Again, it's 100% online through Franklin. So I'm going to show you briefly, I'm going to share my screen because I want to kind of just show you what something may look like. So this is Franklin's webpage, and there's a page on here. It says transferring credit. Any one of you can go to this. You can put your email in, you can set up an account. You don't need to be a student to do something like this. So what I would want to say is estimate your transfer credit. So by clicking on this, you can say that you want to launch the transfer credit tool. And I'm logged in already over here, but you could create an account, add a school. So I've got my school, I pulled up Illinois Valley Community College. These are courses that I've added that I've taken at IVCC, okay? It's as simple as this. Once you pick Illinois Valley, if I want to add a course, can you guys see the screen I'm on right now with add a course? Okay, good. So if I want to add a course and I want to add econ and I just put in ECN, oh yeah, I took micro. Okay, I'm going to add that. So you can go through with an unofficial transcript or your degree audit or your program evaluation that you printed from WebAdvisor, and you can add all the courses that you've taken. And I kind of did a mix of some general education courses like the global environment, speech, but I also added in there business, written communications for business. I added in the management course. I added in the accounting courses. There's an upper level accounting courses. So if this is as far as I've gotten so far, I can take these and I say, I'm done adding schools and courses. Now you can pick the degrees that you're interested in. Look at all these different degrees. These are your options online, all the way from accounting down to web development. So I just happened to kind of pick some things related to what we're talking about today. I did pick a healthcare management because that's a management position. It's related. It's business and marketing and accounting related. I also picked accounting and business admin. I'm going to go ahead and submit that. I'm done adding my programs. It is now calculating for me what it would take, how many credits it applied towards my 124, what my cost savings was by starting this at the community college, what my anticipated graduation date would be if I continue on this path. I'm going to pull up the accounting real quick. And I just clicked on that link up there. Of my, okay, so how it spits out to you is there's general education core, your foundation courses, your major, and electives. So I've got 16 of my 35 gen ed core. So it's applied my English, a math course, a bio. I still need these courses in here. Okay. I think, and if you click on it, this was a macroeconomics course. Okay. Where's my micro? Foundation courses. Oh, here's my micro that I took at IVCC. There's my financial and my managerial accounting. Here's my supervision course and my intro to marketing. Oh, so those are being applied. Okay, but I still need this one. What's this course? Oh, business law. Okay. So we'll work with you to try to help you figure out which of these courses that you still need, how we can get them for you. Even some of our upper level accounting courses got applied to the major area of study. 30 hours has to be taken at Franklin. All the rest of this, I might have started as a computer science major. I don't know. I just threw that out there and taken a geology course and taken college algebra. But those credits were used too, just in general university electives. So they're really utilizing all of your credit. And it's a great tool to use because you can go through and you can see what it is that you can apply to your credit hours. And you can change this major up, you can change the programs, you can do all kinds of things here. But I wanted to show you this tool because it's newer to Franklin's website. And it's handy dandy. There's still a couple quirks in it, but if you've got questions, let me go ahead and stop my share. And Azarette, I'm going to kick it back to you because I'm going to have you pull that back up. This is our contact at Franklin University. It is now Andy Amick. And there you could text him at that number. You may phone him, or any transfer questions, you can give them transferinfo@franklin.edu.
Hey, there's a question in the chat from John, and I do not have the answer. Azarette, Renee, maybe you know. He took some classes 30 plus years ago. Is there a time limit on classes when we accept them?
That's a great question. So only for programs that have limited admissions that set time limits. So honestly, John, I would need to ask Franklin that course or that question specifically. We do not have a time limit. However, I would say that, you know, if you'd taken tax accounting 30 years ago, that might be one you might want to repeat just because the laws have changed so much from that time to this time. So there's certain things that would benefit you to repeat. But for the most part, the general education courses, a college algebra, a humanities, a fine arts course, so those are not going to expire. So we'll still be able to honor those courses. Absolutely.
Hey, Renee.
Hey, Rick.
That's a new type of interactive screen that Franklin has, isn't it?
Yes.
That is the neatest thing I can't believe how they developed that. That is so cool.
It is cool. And the more we use it, the more, like I said, everything's got kinks. You know, we're human. We put things together. But the more we use it, and I'll reach out to Franklin. I'm like, hey, our student took this philosophy course. It's not reading it. They're like, oh, give us a minute. And they're like, da-da-da-da-da. And then we can make it work.
That is really nice.
Yeah, we'll have to develop something like that for ourselves.
Working on it.
Right, yeah. Well, that really concludes what we have to offer this evening. I wanted to mention we have Explore IVCC. So in a way, it's our version of open house, but with a twist this spring, we're bringing alumni, current students, and non-traditional students. So maybe students that have started with us, then decided to do a little bit of life, then come back, share their stories. And so I think it's going to be a really great opportunity to hear how other students have navigated, not only, you know, starting at IVCC and coming back, or, you know, it's their first time going through the college experience and what that's like. So March 30th at 5:30, you can check our website, www.ivcc.edu/visit or explore to check more information. But now is really for you. Any questions or anything else that our wonderful instructors are able to share, or anything else that you guys can think of.
There's one question I'm not sure that got answered, is asked by Virginia. She said, would it be recommended to maybe get the certificates in accounting alongside with a business degree versus both full associates if we're planning on transferring to get a BA in business admin? Renee, that might be a question for you. I'm saying yes, do both full associates, but if you're transferring to Franklin for the business admin, the classes for accounting will transfer. They'll take your payroll, your QuickBooks, and your certified bookkeeping as electives.
Yeah, if it's a Franklin situation, absolutely. If you're looking towards more of a traditional university, Illinois State, Northern, U of I, we'd want to have a conversation because some of those accounting courses will transfer, not all of them. But of course, it would then make you could apply for more entry-level positions if you want to work through while you're in school. The other advantage of that is that some of your upper level courses at the university may be a little bit easier for you because that way you have a little more knowledge, more power. But yeah, it would depend, Virginia, on where you're interested in transferring to. So it's an if-then situation.
And Rick, I had a question about the internships in accounting. You're the one that's in charge of these currently. Can you speak to that?
In terms of how we go about doing them, or
how we go about doing the internships, and then maybe some places where students have worked?
well, we've had students really through the internship have worked at. We've had 2 CPA firms that I've put interns at. We've had one at a bank, and then we also had a couple at Karis, because I had some connections there, and Maze Nails. So we've kind of split between public and private employers, and essentially what we do is we make sure that the job is a good fit, and work with the employer to make sure that it's something that they can use and something be beneficial for the student. And then there's progress reports that the student has to fill out to make sure that we're getting updates on what they're doing each week. And then at the end, the employer fills out a questionnaire and gives us feedback on how the student did. And so it really is to the benefit of everybody. The employer likes it, and the student needs to get that feedback to see how, because oftentimes this is the first time they've been in that type of environment. So usually it's a good experience, at least the ones I've had. I know, Bob, you've done a lot of internships over the years through your program, but the ones I've had have been pretty positive.
And currently we have the internship listed as an elective, correct? I mean, it used to be part of it, but it's an elective now, right?
Right. It used to be a requirement. Now it's an elective. And I think part of that was because of moving down to 60 hours. We kind of had to make some cuts and move some things around. But really, I think it's to the benefit, even if a student doesn't necessarily need it. I think it's a great tool for them to get some experience.
And it is still a requirement in the business administration.
Yeah, for you
not
guys.
Accounting. And then Kaylee asked, how long is it? It's 225 hours of work, and you have the 16-week semester or 8 weeks in the summer to complete it.
Bob, Erica sent this directly to me. She's asking about the internship. Is it an elective or a requirement for your AAS and business admin?
The requirement. Yeah. Now, for some reason, you can take a current job and turn it into an internship as well. So if you have a current job that I would need to see a job description and if it would relate to the program. I've also had students who are currently working and they're like, Bob, I have to keep working at this job, but I'm like, it doesn't fit the business administration or marketing. They'll meet with their boss and just be like, hey, can I X amount of hours a week, even if it's off my, where I'm not getting paid, and learn how you do budgeting, learn how you do training, learn how you do scheduling, learn how you do customer service. In other words, the business administration aspects. And most bosses are like, absolutely, help me out. And then I'll count that as an internship.
I can say that the faculty here are amazing. They work with students, they tutor students, they help them out to the ends of the earth to get through their programs and get through their courses. And, you know, as students, all you have to do is ask for that help or ask for that advice or, you know, make sure we can't read minds. So, you know, that communication is key. And we have an amazing faculty.
Actually, to expand upon that with the faculty, my son's at the U of I taking Calc 2 right now, and he's like, man, I'm having a real hard time understanding the professor via Zoom. And I reached out to our math professor, Wes Black, at the college, and next thing you know, he asked for my son's email and sent him 16 videos of every chapter that he teaches in Calc 2. And that's pretty much what my son watches now is our IVCC's professors' lectures and not the one at U of I. So we got some good ones.
Absolutely. And we hear from our alumni, they're like, oh my gosh, I want to go back to IVCC. I'm like, sure, come on back. But they get so much, and that interaction and experience is really important. So with that, any other questions? We have a couple more minutes.
Jesse has one. Does a management or assistant management position considered acceptable for the business degree?
I would need to see a job description, but there's a high probability that it is. I mean, if it's an assistant manager of some kind and you're doing management duties, you 99% of the time, yes. But I would just need to see a job description of what you would do. Even if it's your boss writing down your duties, that's fine as well, and email it to me, and then we can go from there.
Well, thank you, Amber. I know quite a bit of questions ended up going to you, but they were awesome questions because I think we all can learn from them. So with that, we'll have this recording uploaded to YouTube, IVCC Eagles. If you haven't checked that, subscribe. And I'm excited that you guys all have been able to make it and learn something new. Thank you.